Tell him hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I'm so excited to have this amazing lady on the show. This is Candy Cole. I knew her in a past life, but now she is the CEO at Lake Nona Regional Chamber of Commerce. And we're here to kind of update you on what's going on, some things that are going to happen in the future, and kind of the path of the chamber. It is truly my favorite chamber of commerce. I'll just say that out loud. I was telling Candy that before we went live. If you all are not involved or you don't know about Lake Nona Regional Chamber of Commerce, you're going to learn some today, and I encourage you to join. Welcome, Candy. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Ted. Thank you so much. It's great to see you again.
It's great to see you. When I saw the announcement that you were the new CEO leader out there, I was so excited. Again, like I said, I love the chamber, and I'm just very excited to see what you're going to bring to it. But before we talk about the chamber, I told you that the audience loves to know a little bit of your origin story. So tell us about Candy Cole.
Absolutely. So a lot of people are surprised to know that my bachelor's degree is in accounting. So for a long time, I worked in corporate accounting, financial analysis, that kind of thing. Back when I did something because I was good at it, not because I necessarily wanted to do that, right? It just seemed like the logical thing because I had no idea what I wanted to be when I grew up. So then I got an MBA, which was a generalist degree. I'd always been very specialized. So I got this generalist degree, and it kind of opened my eyes to a whole world of things. And through all of this process, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I'm a very mission-driven person. There are people that are driven by the type of work that they do because maybe they love programming or sewing or whatever that is. There are people that are profit-driven. Nothing wrong with that. The world needs all kinds of people. For me, I am motivated by the mission and by trying to make the world a better place. So I kind of shifted into the nonprofit sector about 20 years ago, and I really have enjoyed that a lot. In so many ways. It kind of feeds my heart, feeds my soul. And
You're really good at it.
Thank you so much. Building community is one of those things that I enjoy because in the nonprofit world, you cannot succeed at all if you don't have the support of the community. The community has to know and see that you're doing good things so that they may possibly consider supporting you at some point in the future. So that's kind of I'm not even trying to get you to give me money yet. I'm just trying to let you see that I'm worthy of your money at the point that you decide to give it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I do, because I think a lot of nonprofits, obviously so many of them are on skeletal budgets, and they're trying to figure out how to run the services. And then so when they come to you, they haven't done a lot of programming or pre-introduction. And so it's an immediate, because the need is right there. Yeah. And so they have to have it. So I love that and you always have been engaged the community, engage in the mission. And then when it's time, then you have the ask.
Well, and then I worked at ORA, the Orlando Regional Realtor Association, as the executive director for their foundation, their charitable foundation. And the focus there was on food and housing insecurity. A lot of people have a home and are struggling to keep it. We need more affordable housing, a whole lot of amazing things happening there. And the coolest thing about that job is also the people that I worked with, the staff at ORA. I have never worked with harder working people, to be honest. And that is not blowing smoke. These people work their tails off every day. And I was also always really impressed at how much people in the real estate or, real estate professionals just give back a lot. They give a lot of their time, a lot of community involvement. So there was a really interesting alignment there. And I love my ORA family. They're still my family. But when I found out about the opportunity in Lake Nona to become the new executive director for the Chamber of Commerce, I really, really had to jump on that opportunity. And thankfully, everybody at ORA gets it. They really want you to succeed and be your best self. And sometimes
that's leadership. Leadership there is amazing, and you're right. The staff there, I mean, because the real estate community, I'm part of it, so I can say it. I love y'all, but sometimes you're a little demanding, and so the staff, I feel like, just work tirelessly to make their experience better. And you're right, the real estate community truly is one of the most engaged industries in community growth and development and support that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. So 100%.
Well, and the interesting thing there is people are surprised when they find out I've never worked for a chamber before. But at ORA, they're a member of lots of chambers, and ORA is a member organization. So
That's right.
it's all about serving members. And if you've ever met Cliff Long, he's always talking about serving the members. That is his mantra. That is what the staff is told every day. Whatever the members need, you serve the members. Make sure that you're meeting their needs. And so I did learn a lot about hearing what members need and what they're asking for. And a lot of the positive feedback that I've gotten here is from members who feel seen and feel heard. They're like, I never had anybody ask me, hey, critique our chamber. Let me know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, where we can improve. I said, give me the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I can't make it better if I don't know what was happening. So be honest. And I call it cookies with candy. So I started doing cookies. I started bringing people cookies because it kind of disarms them a little bit. I don't want this to be a tense conversation. I don't want people to be frustrated. I want to just have a nice, open, honest, relaxed conversation. And usually over food, people are a little more relaxed. So
you better believe it. I would want cookies with candy. Tell me what about the Lake Nona Chamber, though, since you hadn't worked directly for a chamber? What was it about the Lake Nona Chamber that intrigued you, or that piqued your curiosity or piqued your interest?
So the Lake Nona area is just amazing. And I've always just loved this area. If I was ever going to move, this was definitely where I would want to go. And so after I found out about the job opening, we started hanging out here a little bit. I was like, oh, this place is neat. And honestly, when you're walking through the town center, it's either like I don't know which, it's either like Mayberry or an episode of Cheers, because everybody knows everybody. And so it's kind of nice to get that small town feel when I'm walking around, when I'm having lunch, and you see a lot of great, friendly, familiar faces, because this community here is definitely close knit, but also extremely diverse. I've been really happy to see people from all over the world, all kind of coming together here. So it's an interesting melting pot of people that are all very friendly and supportive of each other. So
I agree. And very community driven. I mean, when you think of Lake Nona, I think of a cohesive community that gives back, that supports each other, that supports local business within the community, all while this incredible growth is going on. Businesses coming in, large businesses and organizations coming in, but still the mom and pops are welcome and accepted and supported. It's got that Mayberry is a great way to describe it. It's got that, and for you youngins, you can Google Mayberry.
Sorry,
it's a great hometown feel, but it's got such a metropolitan restaurant options and business options and all sorts of things. Like, it's a great, great mix and melting pot, I feel.
It is. And, people think of, medical city, and they think the VA hospital and the UCF School of Medicine and the medical things, or a lot of people think of the high tech things that are happening here, all the autonomous and electric vehicles that, Beep is everywhere now, right? Beep's launching in the Creative Village downtown. They just launched in Altamont Springs, and they're in a lot of other places around the country as well. So people think of those kinds of businesses here, but there's also amazing restaurants. There's some amazing small business owners. I got the best cupcakes in the world out here, y'all. So, I mean, there's just a lot of different types of people. And that's what I like about this chamber, is it pulls together all of those different groups who may be siloed. And another thing that's interesting is some types of people, especially technology is a good example. A lot of people kind of work in their bubble. Maybe they're working remotely, working from home, but this technology person, this programmer, engineer, may be having some technical challenges so some networking opportunities between engineers who work on different fields is valuable, because they're not necessarily going to connect with each other other ways. And, a chamber's not about just getting your next customer. It's about building a community of support that can help you with management challenges, with project challenges. That's the community that you're creating every time you come to a chamber event.
It's absolutely true. And I want to talk about the chamber, because I think a lot of people would say, I've heard them whenever I promote chamber events or have members on, they'll say, well, gosh, Ted, isn't the Chamber of Commerce an antiquated way to work with people and do business? And I understand where they're coming from, because Lake Nona Chamber to me is just so unique, because it's the opposite of what they think. It is the
very young
promotion. Even if you're not a member of the chamber, you see your stuff out there all the time promoting businesses. And I feel like you all do it differently. So let's talk about that. Talk a little bit about membership and how people get involved, and how you all kind of plan that out, because it takes a village for you all to do that.
It does. And that village does not just mean people that are part of this chamber. Chambers of commerce are all nonprofits, and we all have the same mission and goal to help other businesses. And and again, something that I learned from my previous life is we can all go farther when we collaborate. So I actually have been meeting and collaborating with several other chambers in the area, and they're all very supportive of that because each chamber has its own little special niche. So what makes Lake Nona special? We have so many international business owners, and I don't mean people who own a business here doing business internationally. I mean people who immigrated here, who are, their challenges are different than someone who was born and raised here, right? So we navigate the system a little differently than someone who came here 2 or 3 years ago from Colombia, for example. And so we have an amazing network of international businesses, and can help them support each other because they know the journey.
Have you seen and I want to talk from experience. One of the things I love is when I get the notifications, and there's a lot of them, which is great, about ribbon cuttings. Like, you all take it to the streets and you really do the things that people, I think, traditionally think of as what a chamber does, but you make an impact. Like, you continue to support them. This isn't just a photo op. Right. You all as a chamber are investing back into your members.
Yes. So for me, when I hear someone say, like in one of my cookies with candy meetings, someone said, I just don't feel like we were getting a lot of bang for our buck. And I'm like, okay, that's a real problem for me, because what you're describing is a transaction. And that means we have a relationship problem. So now we need to work on the relationship with you and with the chamber so that we can really support your business, because they're all like snowflakes. We cannot put everybody in a box and say, okay, if everybody comes to this luncheon once a month, you'll be good. That's not how this works. So I want to talk to you and get to know you a little bit so that, hey, when something comes up, hey, you know what? I think it would be really great if you talk to this person. And again, it's about all of the connections, and I can't connect people with each other if I don't know who they are. With more than 500 members, we have, I can't get to know all of them personally. I'm working on it. I am definitely working on trying to meet all of them face to face. And I've met many, but we have people talk about the Nona vibe. When someone's on the fence and they're like, I'm not sure what to do. I'm like, I just invite them to an event. Like, just come. We had an after hours event at Pisco's Peruvian Gastro Bar last night. It was amazing. And I had a few people who were like, I'm not sure which chamber I should join. I'm like, the first thing you need to do is go to an event and see what people you feel comfortable with. Because if you come to our chamber and you're just not comfortable with the people, then we're not the right chamber for you. So you need to come and see how you can, because these are the people that you're going to lean on when you need support for your business. So that's why I want to make sure that people are happy and people are comfortable. And so promoting, and again, it's not just about networking. There's so much more to it with providing educational resources, but I have no intention of reinventing the wheel. So I love that we've been, talking with a lot of other organizations who do great work that can help small businesses.
Well, yeah, the education is a good point, because you're right. It's not just, when we're talking about networking, there's ribbon cuttings, there's education. The committees that you can serve on really are a testament to what you all are trying to do to reach out into the community. There's a nonprofit commit, like the amount of effort that goes in from the members that want to get involved and give back. It's diverse. It covers everything you could possibly want. So if you're not into networking, but you have a heart for nonprofit, you still have a great place at the chamber.
We have ambassadors who can't always come to events or don't like, but so you think, how can a chamber ambassador be effective if they can't come to events? Well, hey, you can call a lot of our new members to make sure they're comfortable, to find out what's happening in their lives, to make sure that they're welcome, they feel welcome, and get some feedback. So we do have ambassadors who just do welcome calls for people who may not necessarily make an event, because I'm not going to wait for you to show up to an event to welcome you. I'm not doing my job if I do that. So I completely lost what I was going to say next now. Sorry. But.
No, it's good. I think you're right. And I think what you do is you've thought of everything, because retention, of course, is such a big deal. And it sounds transactional, but retention means you're continuing to maintain and build the relationship and pour into the relationships. And so that I
don't want to date. I want to get married. I want you to stay. I want you to see the chamber as a resource. And one of the things that the Lake Nona community does really well is connecting people. We have some incredibly talented, amazing business leaders here that we connect with each other. And when you're talking about meeting the needs of businesses, do you think KPMG needs our so many social media posts a year? They do not. But they're an incredible partner that, with the chamber, we can connect them to the smaller businesses in the community. Just, so just grassroots. You just have to kind of have a diverse group of people in your circle, and the chamber kind of lets everybody do that. And I've learned a lot about, particularly about international businesses. The Economic Development Committee that we have out here is top notch, bringing, people, groups from all over the world come in every week to tour Lake Nona. And the thing that we keep hearing is, the Nona vibe. There's something unique about the energy here. And it's
and everything, really. I feel like it's a unique community. And I feel like what you all have done has been able to harness that, build on it, and then continue to reach out. I mean, it's known internationally. And that's why people continue to come. And if you don't think that your business is impacted by when other companies like that come in, you're mistaken. There's a big power in that, and a big ability for you as a business owner to hop on some of that that train that is the Lake Nona vibe area. So tell me, if somebody wants to join, what's the first thing? Like, people will say, yeah, I want to join, but I want to join, but I don't want to be, I'm not sure what I want to do. Like, what would you say the first thing that they should do once they join, or once they're curious about joining? What should they do?
Once they're curious about joining, and you have, the orientation process that teaches you how to use all of the benefits. One of the common questions that we get every single day: hey, can you email all of your members a promotion for this? Actually, yeah, you can do that yourself. One of the benefits as a chamber member, you can reach out to chamber members on your own, and here's how you do that. If you want to create a special deal for chamber members, you can do that. Here's how you can do that. And you don't have to have us do that for you. We give our members some amazing tools they can use to promote their businesses to each other. So we're not a gatekeeper. We're not playing favorites. People are just putting in what works for them, and able to communicate with everybody else, which means that different sectors can form their own little, support group is the wrong word. But like, for example, we have the nonprofits committee you mentioned. We have several dozen nonprofit 501c3 organizations that are members, and their needs, again, are completely different. Businesses are like snowflakes. So they get together once a month. They talk about what their needs. We talk about what, opportunities we have for volunteering in the community. We talk about what galas, what fundraisers they have come up, just what can we do to help support your nonprofit and to help you make the world a better place? Because again, we're, the chamber, while not a public charity, is still a nonprofit, and we want to help all businesses here. So I
feel like the word that always comes to mind when I think of the chamber is collaboration. And how amazing is that on the nonprofit, for example, because there are a lot of nonprofits, they're scrambling for people. We're all trying to hit the same donors. I mean, if you have never worked in the nonprofit world, let me tell you should go do that for a day, and then you'll be so thankful for all of the work that they do. But the collaborative spirit, even amongst nonprofits, other industries, similar industries, it's still there. There's an exchange of ideas and a collaborative spirit.
Well, and the other interesting thing is that the Lake Nona Chamber's young. I mean, it's only 10 years old, and it's been an amazing 10 years. But something that a lot of people don't know is for the first 5 years, it had 0 employees. It was run entirely by the board and volunteers. So they did a lot of work. And even after bringing on their first set of, the first employees, because it was growing and it got to be a lot, and what a great problem to have, right? But now to this day, we have board members that are so engaged and helpful, and it's amazing because they sit back and they let me run the day-to-day operations. And the dynamic works really, really well, but they're so supportive. We could not run as lean as we do without all the amazing support that we have from our board members and from the community.
I agree. All right. So Candy, what's the best way that they can find out more about you and the chamber and Cookies with Candy and all of that good stuff?
So our website, or follow us on social media. Our website has all of our information. It's lakenonacc.org.
It's lakenonacc.org. It is scrolling across the bottom of your screen. And it is also a link on my link tree that's down there. You all are amazing. Candy, I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy that the chamber has you. Congratulations. And if you all ever wanted to get involved in a chamber, this is my recommendation as to where you should start. You will not be sorry that you did, because the amount of engagement and encouragement and support and collaboration you're going to get at the Lake Nona Chamber is top-notch, bar none. So thank you, Candy. Thanks, Lake Nona Regional Chamber of Commerce. We'll see you soon. Go to Lake Nona CC.